Beyond habits, rewiring your mind for success. This module is an overview of everything we're going to be covering in this workshop, and specifically the flow and order, understanding how daily wins work and why they work. And I find that it is incredibly important to understand the psychology behind high return on investment habits, because they actually allow you to rewire your mental operating system for lasting growth. If you don't deeply understand something, then it's really hard to stick to it. So my biggest suggestion is do not rush through this workshop. If you find one of these concepts really interesting, really fascinating, or it gives you an aha moment about life or about the way you're doing anything, pause, take a break. Let that be the only video that you watch today and let it bake into your system. We're going to start off with that burning question. Why do we get stuck? And why do we feel like we're in a plateau when we're working so hard? And this is really something that I started to overcome when I understood the S curve of improvement and where I was at on it relative to skills I was learning and skills I was building. We're going to talk about lateral skills, and we're also going to talk about cultivating a learner's identity, which is not quite the same thing as a growth mindset. Next up, we're going to cover some useful psychology relative to this concept of the S curve of improvement and a learner's identity. And this is really about understanding the psychological principles that help you sensitize yourself to progress and make you feel like you are actively moving forward and that you are enjoying it. So we're going to look into selective attention and confirmation bias, and actually how to make confirmation bias work for you, understanding the progress principle, and again, tapping back into gamification and how we can specifically use it in daily wins. The power of celebration. This is about how success impacts your mind and stimulates your brain's reward and motivation centers. And this is, I think, some of the most important parts of this course, because it's about being proud of yourself every single day and creating an identity around someone who creates progress every single day. There's also a lot of science around the idea of delayed gratification. And that is incredibly important because when we are pursuing a long-term goal, we have to go a long time before we necessarily reach that goal. But that doesn't mean we don't celebrate our choices, our motion forward, our progress along the way. And that's what daily wins and the power of celebration is about. It's about giving you fuel to sustain you for a long journey. Next up, navigating emotional states. And this is really about understanding just how far to venture outside of your comfort zone and how to navigate all of the different layers of discomfort, whether it's curiosity, excitement, needing courage, or even tapping into bravery and overcoming fear. All of these different depths of stepping into discomfort are useful. And it's about understanding which one to apply to the task at hand, because when we experience too much fear, it can paralyze us. And when we feel like we constantly have to pluck up the courage to do something, although this does build a certain level of muscle, it can be too much for our nervous system. And again, it can make us shut down and start to have a strained relationship with change. Daily Wins has two components, before and after, setting yourself up to understand what you're looking for to determine success, and then registering that success and what happened that day. And there's two ways to do this. One, you can take advantage of sleep physiology and the fact that we are in very hypnotic states right when we wake up and before we go to sleep. We can also bookend daily wins around our practices, taking advantage of the primacy and recency effects, allowing us to really integrate what happened that day and if we hit our goals. Lots of room to record. Next, we are going to be doing a step-by-step walkthrough. I'm going to show you my calendar, exactly what I do, and I'm going to give you some personalization options. Not everybody is going to have the same drivers of what motivates them, and I'm going to give you some different areas to focus on and different ways to celebrate using your calendar. Finally, we're going to talk about the results, what to expect, when to expect them, and what to look for to notice if your brain is rewiring to notice success. The biggest thing that I have noticed about daily wins and how it positively impacts me is that when I get to competition, I feel sure of myself. I feel calm, and I know that I've done the work because I have consciously noticed every single day the progress I'm making, the choices I'm making, how they're adding up. And it doesn't feel like a will I perform well? It's only a matter of when. And that is something that a lot of athletes struggle with. And they think, how do I perform on demand? And they only focus on the things that they are doing right before they perform. But performance is something that accumulates over time. And the more we pay attention to the changes that happen daily, the more we'll notice the massive changes that occur over months and over years. So let's get started.